Hi guys, welcome back. This is no issue 95 of Build the Star Wars R2D2. Na, 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 na. Ho, 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 Horlicks. Na, 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 na. Ho, 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 Horlicks. Let me hear you sing. Na, 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 na. Ho, 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 Horlicks. Na, 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 na. Ho, 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 Horlicks. Ho, 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 Horlicks. So in this issue we're going to be assembling the dome drive components. So without further ado, let's go down and we'll get this started. So here we go, here's the little package. We'll open up and check off the parts. Okay, so we've got a nice little array of parts in here. It's very heavy, this issue. Obviously a lot of metallic parts in here. Okay, and what we're going to need in this issue, what we have in this issue should I say, we've got a dome spindle, which is this part here. We've got a dome motor support plate, and I don't think we'll be using them in this issue. And then in this packet here we've got two bearing housing halves, so you've got one half there and the other half there, and they both say, well, one says BF78, one says BF77. I can't see, oh yeah, there is a slight difference. Obviously one has got fatter parts on the top, if you can see there. So they are different, but I don't think it matters overall because they will be joined together. We've got a dome shaft unit, which is this part here. Now I've seen a lot of people on Facebook actually have stones caught in here, and that is just from manufacturer. They, if you like, they put them in like a giant washing machine full of stones, and it goes round and it just polishes the outside off. So if you've got a stone in there, then it's probably good luck. Okay, we've got a cable retainer, which is this plastic piece here. And we've got a large bearing. We've got a small bearing. Okay, and we've got a bearing retainer, which is just there. So that's all the parts we've got. So let's start by assembling this. So we need to take the dome drive shaft, which is this part here, and we're going to take the small bearing and we want the retainer, and we also want two silver 2x4mm screws. Now I think, well, I'm hoping we may have had these in the last issue, because I think they're in this little bag here. So I'm just going to pop these screws out into the tray, and there we go. I'm going to just give them a little measure and see if they are the ones indeed we are after. Yep, they are fine. So we want two of those silver screws, and we got them in the last issue, 94. So I'll come in a bit so you can see them. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to place the small bearing into the recess inside there in the shaft. And that was a very nice fit. Perfect. And then we're going to pop the retainer in, just in the top, and then obviously we're going to screw that in with the with those silver screws. There's no mention of any washers or anything at this stage, so we're just going to put those screws straight through. So there's one screw, just going to put the other one in. Okay, once they're both in, just tighten that all up. Okay, and then we should have something that looks a little bit like that. Okay, we're going to push that aside for the moment. Now we need to take the bearing housing halves, so the rest of these parts, the large bearing, this cable clip. Okay, and it also wants us to grab 10mm flanged screws. So again, these are the ones that came in the last issue. And I will just double check those. Yep. And we also want some spring washers. Now it doesn't actually say what spring washers, but we've got 2 lots. Okay, so I'm just looking at the magazine, see if we can identify the type of spring washer it's asking us to use. It doesn't really Okay, I think the larger ones are too big, so I think we're going to leave those to one side. I'm going to use the small spring washers for this. Okay, I'm going to pop them in there. So we also need 2 of those. Okay, just get you a bit more light so you can see. So once we've got all those parts, so we've got the 2 10mm screws, flange screws, we've got the 2 small of the spring washers, the large bearing, the halves, and this plastic unit here. What we're going to do is we're going to place the large bearing in the recess of the half there, and that's just going to sit in there like so. We're going to close this up and put the other half on, and then the bearing will seat in there nicely. Okay. Right, you'll notice that one side has obviously got the space for the nut to fit in, and one side has just got the hole. So we want to place this plastic cable holder on the front where the holes are, obviously because we need to get nuts in there afterwards. There's no you know, it's no good putting it that side, so that will only go on that way. Okay, then what we want to do is take one of the flange screws and place it through the whole assembly. Okay, and then from this side where the screw comes through, we're going to place one of the spring washers over the screw. So it sits in there. Okay, then we're going to place the nut into the hole, and then from the other side screw that up. Okay, then it should look something like that. Okay, so I haven't tightened that all the way because I'm going to do the other side, so I've got some movement. So I'm going to push that through. Again, I'm going to place the washer over the screw so that drops down into there. And then we're going to put a nut in there. Hold that in place. And then tighten that up. Perfect. Okay, and then I'm just going to tighten both of those up. Check the bearing moves, which it does, and that is that assembly. Okay, and then we should end up with that part and that part. We're going to put these two parts safe, because we won't be needing them in this issue. Okay, so that was issue 95. Again, a very enjoyable build. Everything went together as planned. Yeah, very good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I say the only thing is throughout the whole build, as you know, it's working out the screws and washers and things. Especially as we had those two sets of washers. I mean, there's not a lot in them. One's only very slightly bigger, but just by looking at the pictures, I've sort of hazarded a guess it was going to be the smaller ones to fit in there. So that is it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, subscribe. Again, if you'd wish to buy me a coffee, there is a link in the description below. So until next week, take care, and I'll see you then.